Welcome back. I am Pratap here. Today is 19th September 2025. In this video, I am going to generate different supply demand zone reports useful to the premium subscribers. Even before that, please note, we are providing complete free training on supply demand zone price action. And all the training lessons are already available at our NeoStock YouTube channel. To access the training lessons at our channel homepage, click on the tab Posts. Some of you may see Community tab in place of Posts. In that case, click on the Community tab. In both the cases, you get the same post. This post is having a YouTube playlist link that is having all the training lessons. You just click on the link. Now we are into supply demand zone price action course. Here you have all the training lessons are available. You just scroll down to the bottom of the page to access the first lesson. Here starting from lesson 1.1, all the training lessons are placed in an order. So please go through all these lessons one by one, but according to my training instructions. And all the training instructions are available at our Telegram channel. I am providing the link to our Telegram channel in this video description. Please join at our Telegram channel. Once you join in the old messages or in the pinned messages, you can find all the training instructions, and if you can learn the course according to those training instructions, it will be helpful to you to become a very good independent trader. So please make use of this opportunity. Okay, now I am going to generate different supply demand zone reports with the help of NeoStock software, and currently data is under processing. So finding the stocks near demand and supply zones and bullish and bearish trade setups, this data processing should complete, but NIFTY and BANKNIFTY supply demand zone chain, this processing is not required because they have an independent process. So first I will generate NIFTY and BANKNIFTY supply demand zone chain reports. After that I will generate high liquidity zones, bullish, bearish and sideways trade setups, stocks near demand and supply zones for all the time frames, and finally stop buffers based on daily ATR. This is the order I am following. So first starting with NIFTY, monthly time frame, generating monthly supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Okay, in any supply demand zone chain report, always look into the zone column to find the high liquidity zones. Look into the pierced column to find the pierced zones. And always look into the LTF trend to find the trend of the current time frame you have selected. And you already learned one time frame higher is ITF and one more time frame higher is HTF. This is the way you can understand this report. And also don't forget to pause the video when you are moving from one report to another report, because I am giving you very few seconds time to watch the reports. Once you study, you can proceed to the next reports. Okay, this is a monthly supply demand zone chain report. Next, generating weekly supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, generating a daily supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, generating 125 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, generating 75 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, generating 25 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, generating 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, generating 5 minutes supply demand zone chain for Nifty. The nearest demand zone for the current closing price, serial number 21. I will put it in the middle of the page. Okay. So this is a Nifty supply demand zone chain report generation. Next, I will generate Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain. I am going back, changing the name to Nifty Bank. That is nothing but Bank Nifty. Generating monthly supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating a weekly supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating a daily supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating 125 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating 75 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating 25 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating 5 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. So the nearest demand zone for the closing price, serial number 19. I will put it in the middle of the page. Okay. So this is a Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain. We have completed both Nifty and Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain. Next, I will generate high liquidity zones for daily and 75 minutes stocks near demand and supply zones. First, let me check. Process is completed. Good. Okay. Now, starting with the daily time frame, stocks near to the daily demand zone. We got 3 stocks. And we don't have any high liquidity daily demand zones from this list. Next, stocks near to the daily supply zone. We got 8 stocks. High liquidity zone, first one is pierced zone, not valid. Godrej Consumer Properties is also pierced, not valid, but you can use it for pierced zone strategies. And we have RBL Bank. This is the only one high liquidity daily supply zone identified from this list. High priority, high liquidity daily supply zone. Okay, next for 75 minutes time frame, stocks near to the 75 minutes demand zone, we got 7 stocks. Let us identify high liquidity zones. We don't have any 75 minutes high liquidity demand zones from this list. So next, for 75 minutes time frame, stocks near to the 75 minute supply zone, we got 12 stocks. Let us identify high liquidity 75 minute supply zones from this list. And Nifty Financial Services, this is the Fin Nifty, having a high liquidity daily, 75 minute supply zone. Next, Patanjali is having a 75 minutes high liquidity 75 minute supply zone. Next, Shriram Cement is having a high liquidity 75 minute supply zone. Next, Tata Elxsi, and then Tech Mahindra. So total 575 minutes high liquidity supply zones we identified from this list. So this is about high liquidity zone identification for the HLQ zone strategy. You learned in lesson 21.3 video. Okay, next I will generate sideways bullish and bearish trade setups for different income trades. Starting with monthly income trade, entry time frame daily, entry zone demand zone, bullish, bearish, sideways. At daily I am selecting sideways long. Zone achievement violated opposing zone, minimum odd enhancer score 11 for sideways. Let's filter. We got 4 stocks and ignore this pierced zone. Use it only for pierced zone strategies. But remaining 3 stocks are supporting sideways long trade setup for monthly income trade. Entry time frame zones are daily demand zones. So total 3 stocks. You can plan trades only if lesson 30.3 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. Next, sideways short trade setup. The changes are daily supply zone and sideways short. We got only 1 stock, but it is a pierced zone. You have to use it only for pierced zone strategy, but not for sideways short trade setup. It is not valid. Okay, next bullish trade setup. Daily demand zone. Here bullish. Minimum odd enhancer score 12. And we got 29 stocks supporting bullish trade setup for monthly income trade, and all the entry time frame zones are daily demand zones. And pierced zones, use them only for pierced zone strategies. Don't use them for bullish trade setup. Okay, first 17 stocks in the list. I am scrolling the list down. So total 29 stocks are filtered. And all the 29 demand zones are supporting bullish trade setup, but few pierced zones you have to eliminate them. Apart from that, out of these 29, there could be some high probability trade setup. Daily demand zones might be available. We need to filter them based on different zone confluence and EMA confluence strategies that you learned in lesson 27. First filter is LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. Let us apply on these 29 stocks. So I am going back, adding one more filter, demand zone confluence. Here I am selecting the filter daily and weekly demand zone confluence. That is LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. So we got out of 29, 22 stocks are filtered. First 16 stocks in this list having a daily and weekly demand zone confluence. Scrolling the list down. So total we got 22 demand zones, daily demand zones. Out of these 22, all the demand zones, the current trend is ITF trend, that is weekly trend, because daily is overlapped with weekly. So we are looking into the weekly. Weekly trend is uptrend in all the stocks, all the 22 stocks, because it is bullish trade setup. So we can further filter based on weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence. At the same time, trend on the weekly should not be sideways. Anyway, all the trend is uptrend, weekly trend. So we can further filter. Now we got 17 stocks are filtered. First 16 stocks in the list. I am scrolling the list down. Total 17 stocks. All the 17 stocks are having more high probability to get success, provide lesson 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. Okay, next filter is LTF, ITF and even HTF demand zone confluence supported stocks. I am removing EMA filter because it is ITF specific. Now in the demand zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First one is LTF, ITF and then HTF. That is daily and weekly, already enabled. Daily and monthly, weekly and monthly. Demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 5 stocks. In all the 5 stocks, these daily demand zones are overlapped with weekly demand zone. Both together again overlapped with monthly demand zone. And monthly trend is up in the first 4 stocks. Let's verify in the first 4 stocks any monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence. In that case, the overlapped daily demand zone inside monthly might be having more high probability to get success. So let's verify. I'm going back, adding EMA filter on the monthly demand zone, by checking monthly demand zone with monthly EMA. At the same time, one stock is having sideways on monthly, we don't want it. So I'm setting the trend is only uptrend because it is bullish trade setup. So 2 stocks are filtered. So these 2 daily demand zones might be having more high probability to get success, provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. So this is bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. Next, I will generate bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. Entry time frame daily, entry zone, supply zone, selecting bearish, zone achievement of VOZ, minimum odd enhancer score 12. With these filters, we got only 2 stocks supporting bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. And entry time frame zones are daily supply zones. We got 2 stocks. Let's verify any high probability trade setup daily supply zone in this list. So first filter is LTF and ITF supply zone confluence. That is daily and weekly supply zone confluence. By applying the filter, both the stocks are filtered. So that means both the stocks, these daily supply zones are overlapped with weekly supply zone. And also weekly trend, ITF trend is down in both the stocks. Let's further filter based on weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence in any of those 2 stocks, because weekly trend is downtrend. So one stock is filtered. So this daily supply zone might be having more high probability to get success. Provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. Already it gave one good trade. Okay, next let us look into LTF, ITF and HTF demand zone confluence supported stocks. Removing EMA filter in the demand zone confluence. Setting 3 filters, daily and weekly. Sorry, not demand zone, supply zone confluence. Daily and weekly supply zone already enabled. Next, daily and monthly, weekly and monthly. With all the 3 filters, daily, weekly, monthly, supply zone confluence, we got only one stock. So this daily supply zone overlapped with weekly supply zone, both together again overlapped with monthly supply zone. But monthly trend is sideways. Sideways trend, EMA confluence does not give any advantage. So we are not further filtering. So this is bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. We have completed monthly income trade reports. Next, I will generate weekly income trade reports. Weekly income trade entry time frame 75 minutes. Entry zone, demand zone, bullish, bearish, sideways. At 75 minutes, I am selecting sideways long trade setup and zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score 11 for sideways. Adding one more filter, that is 75 minutes demand zone, should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 75 minutes time frame, setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means pierced count is 0. Pierced count 0 means zone is not pierced. Which zone? Whatever you select here. That is, we selected 75 minutes demand zone. So that won't be pierced. So let's filter. We got 2 stocks supporting sideways long trade setup for weekly income trade. And entry time frame zones are 75 minutes demand zones. We got 2 stocks. If these 2 stocks satisfy less than 30.3 checklist items, we can plan the trade. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. Next, sideways short trade setup. 75 minutes supply zone. Here, sideways short. Let's filter. We got again 2 stocks. But now entry time frame zones are 75 minutes supply zones. You can plan trades on these zones only if lesson 30.3 video checklist items are satisfied, because it is sideways trade setup. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. Okay, next, bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. Changes are 75 minutes demand zone, here bullish, and minimum order enhance score 12. Let's filter. We got 13 stocks supporting bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. And all the entry time frame zones are 75 minutes demand zones. So total we got 13 stocks. Out of these 13 75 minutes demand zones, how many are having more high probability to get success? That we will filter based on different zone confluence and EMA confluence strategies that we learned in lesson 27. So first filter is LTF and ITF demand zone confluence, and then ITF EMA confluence. So let's filter one by one. First LTF and ITF demand zone confluence, that is 75 minutes and daily demand zone confluence. By enabling the filter, applying on the 13 stocks, we got 7 stocks. All the 7 stocks, these 75 minutes demand zones are overlapped with the daily demand zone. Is it enough? No. And the daily trend, that is ITF trend, is uptrend in all the stocks. So we can further filter based on daily demand zone having daily EMA confluence. Because 75 minutes demand zone overlapped inside this daily demand zone. And daily trend is also uptrend. We got only one stock. And this daily demand zone, this 75 minutes demand zone, which is overlapped inside daily, is having more high probability to get success. Provide lesson 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. See, this is already tested twice. Okay, next let us look into LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence supported stocks. I am going back, removing EMA filter. Now in the demand zone confluence, 3 filters I am going to set. First one already enabled, 75 minutes and daily. Next 75 minutes and weekly, daily and weekly demand zone confluence. By setting all the 3 filters, we got 4 stocks. In all these 4 stocks, these 75 minutes demand zones overlapped with daily demand zone, both together again overlapped with weekly demand zone. And weekly trend is uptrend in only 2 stocks. So let's further filter on these 2 stocks by checking any weekly demand zone having weekly EMA. In that case, the overlapped 75 minutes demand zone inside the daily, inside the weekly might be having more high probability to get success. Let's verify. EMA confluence at weekly time frame. I am checking weekly demand zone having weekly EMA or not. At the same time, trend on the weekly should not be sideways. It should be uptrend because it is bullish trade setup. Let's filter. We got 1 stock. So this daily demand zone is having more high probability to get success. Provide lesson 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. See, previously already it gave 3 tests. Okay. Next, let us look into. This is a bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. Next, let us look into bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Entry time frame 75 minutes, entry zone, supply zone. Here bullish or bearish at 75 minutes. I am selecting bearish. Zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhances score 12. And also 75 minutes supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count, at 75 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 4 stocks supporting bearish trade setup for weekly income trade, and entry time frame zones are 75 minutes supply zones. Total we got 4 stocks. Out of these 4, how many are having more high probability to get success? That we will filter based on different zone confluence and EMA confluence strategies that we learned in lesson 27. First filter is LTF and ITF supply zone confluence. that is a 75 minutes and daily supply zone Confluence. I enabled the filter. Applying on the 5 stocks, we got 4 stocks, we got all 4 stocks. In all the 4 stocks, these 75 minute supply zones are overlapped with daily supply zone. Is it enough? No. Because it is overlapped in the daily, so now we need to check daily supply zone having daily EMA or not, because the daily trend is downtrend in all the stocks. ITF is daily. So I am going back. EMA Confluence at daily time frame, daily supply zone with daily EMA. I am verifying. Now 2 stocks are filtered. So these two 75 minute supply zones are having more high probability to get success. Provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. See, already they tested 4 times. Both are high liquidity zones. And moreover, this entire strategy is satisfied. Now, are they going to work again? That is depending on less than 20 checklist items. If they are satisfied, you can plan trade. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. Okay, next strategy is LTF, ITF and HTF supply zone Confluence and then HTF EMA Confluence. So I am removing ITF EMA filter. First in the supply zone Confluence, 3 filters I have to set. First one 75 minutes and daily, already enabled. 75 minutes and weekly and daily and weekly supply zone Confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 2 stocks. In both these stocks, these daily 75 minute supply zones are overlapped with daily supply zone. Both together again overlapped with weekly supply zone. And weekly trend is downtrend in both the stocks. Let's verify if any of the weekly supply zones having weekly EMA or not. In that case, the overlapped 75 minute supply zone inside weekly might be having more high probability to get success. So I am going back. In the EMA Confluence at weekly, I am checking weekly supply zone with weekly EMA Confluence by enabling the filter, because trend is down, both are filtered. That means both these 75 minute supply zones might be having more high probability to get success. So this is bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Remember, less than 20 checklist items should satisfy. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. You should not forget that point. Next, let us generate daily income trade reports. For daily income trade, entry time frame is 15 minutes. Entry zone is demand zone, bullish or bearish or sideways at 15 minutes. I am selecting sideways long. Zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score is 11. And 15 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 15 minutes time frame, minimum value I am setting 0, maximum value I am setting 0. That means pierced count is 0, pierced count 0 means zone is not pierced. Which zone? Whatever you select here. Now I selected 15 minutes demand zone. It won't be pierced. So let's filter. We got 5 stocks. So these 5 stocks are supporting sideways long trade setup for daily income trade, and entry time frame zones are 15 minutes demand zones. So total we got 5 stocks. And remember, you should plan trades only if less than 30.3 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. Next, sideways short trade setup. The changes are 15 minutes supply zone here, sideways short. Let's filter. We got 3 stocks. And entry time frame zones are 75 minute supply zones. Sorry, not 75, 15 minute supply zones. Because entry time frame 15 minutes. Entry zone is supply zone. So all these are all 15 minute supply zones. You can plan trades in these 15 minute supply zones, provide less than 20 checklist items are not less than 20, I'm sorry, less than 30.3 because it is sideways trade setup. Less than 30.3 video checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. Okay, next let us generate bullish trade setup for daily income trade. The changes are 15 minutes demand zone here, bullish, and minimum odd enhanced score 12. Let's filter. So we got 16 stocks supporting bullish trade setup for daily income trade, and entry time frame zones are 15 minutes demand zone. So total we got 16 stocks. All entry time frame zones are 15 minutes demand zones. Out of these 16, 15 minutes demand zones, how many are having more high probability to get success? That we can filter based on different zone confluence and EMA confluence strategies that we learned in lesson 27. So first filter is LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. So I'm going back in the demand zone confluence. I'm enabling the filter 15 minutes and 75 minutes demand zone confluence. Applying the filter on the 16 stocks, we got 11 stocks. In all the 11 stocks, these 15 minutes demand zones are overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. And 75 minutes trend, ITF trend is 75 minutes trend is uptrend in all the stocks. So further we can filter based on EMA confluence on the 75 minutes demand zone. So 75 minutes demand zone having daily EMA we are checking. Let's filter. So none of the stocks are having 75 minutes demand zone with daily EMA. So we don't have any high probability trade setup zones based on this strategy. Okay, next strategy is LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence. I'm removing this filter, EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First one, 15 minutes and 75 minutes, already enabled. 15 minutes and daily, 75 minutes and daily, demand zone confluence with all the 3 filters. We got 2 stocks. In these 2 stocks, these 15 minutes demand zones are overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone, both together again overlapped with daily demand zone. And daily trend is uptrend in only one stock. Let's verify if this daily demand zone having daily EMA or not. If it is filtered, the overlapped 15 minutes demand zone might be having more high probability to get success. So in the daily demand zone with daily EMA, at the same time, trend on the daily should not be sideways. It should be uptrend because it is bullish trade setup. So no stocks. That means we don't have any high probability trade setup, bullish trade setup for daily income trade. We don't have any high probability zones. Okay, next let us look into bearish trade setup for daily income trades. Entry time frame 15 minutes, entry zone, supply zone, bullish or bearish. At 15 minutes I am selecting bearish. Zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhanced score should be 12. And also 15 minute supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count parameter, at 15 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 5 stocks supporting bearish trade setup for daily income trade, and entry time frame zones are 15 minute supply zones. So total we got 5 stocks. Out of these 5, how many 15 minute supply zones are having more high probability to get success? That we will find based on different zone confluence and EMA confluence strategies we learned in lesson 27. First filter is LTF and ITF supply zone confluence. Let us apply that filter on these 5 stocks. In the supply zone confluence, I am enabling 15 minutes and 75 minutes supply zone confluence, and applying on the 5 stocks, we got 3 stocks are filtered. In all the 3, these 15 minute supply zones are overlapped with 75 minute supply zone, and 75 minutes trend is downtrend. So let's very further filter based on 75 minute supply zone having daily EMA confluence or not. 75 minute supply zone with daily EMA, we got 1 stock. So this 15 minute supply zone might be having more high probability to get success, provide lesson 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. Okay, next let us look into LTF, ITF and even HTF supply zone confluence supported stocks. I'm going back, removing EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, 3 filters I am going to set. First one 15 minutes and 75 minutes supply zone Confluence already enabled. Next 15 minutes and daily supply zone Confluence. 75 minutes and daily supply zone Confluence. With all the three filters, we got two stocks. In both these stocks, these 15-minute supply zones are overlapped with 75-minute supply zone. Both together again overlapped with daily supply zone. And daily trend is downtrend in both the stocks. So we can further filter based on daily supply zone having daily EMA Confluence. Daily supply zone with daily EMA, because the trend is downtrend in both at daily. Again, we got only one stock. So this 15-minute supply zone might be having more high probability to get success, provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. So this is bearish trade setup for daily income trade. We have completed all the three income trade reports. Next, I will generate finding the stocks near demand and supply zone, starting with yearly time frame. Price closed inside the yearly demand zone. We got three stocks. Next, price closed inside the yearly supply zone. No stocks. Next time frame half yearly. Price closed inside the half yearly demand zone. We got four stocks. Next, price closed inside the half yearly supply zone. We got three stocks. Next time frame is quarterly. Stocks near to the quarterly demand zone. We got one stock. Next, stocks near to the quarterly supply zone. No stocks. Price closed inside the quarterly demand zone. We got 17 stocks. We can further filter this list based on quarterly demand zone having quarterly EMA Confluence. And also trend on the quarterly should not be sideways, so that it can be up or down trend. We got 10 stocks. Okay, next, price closed inside the quarterly supply zone. We got 16 stocks. We can further filter this list based on quarterly supply zone having quarterly EMA Confluence. And also trend on the quarterly should not be sideways. We got 4 stocks. Next time frame is monthly. Stocks near to the monthly demand zone. We got 5 stocks. Next, stocks near to the monthly supply zone. We got 5 stocks. Next, price closed inside the monthly demand zone. We got 16 stocks. We can further filter based on monthly demand zone having monthly EMA Confluence. And also trend on the monthly should not be sideways. So we got 6 stocks. Okay, next, price closed inside the monthly supply zone. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total, we got 33 stocks. We can further filter based on monthly supply zone having monthly EMA Confluence. And also trend on the monthly should not be sideways. We got 11 stocks. Next time frame is weekly. Stocks near to the weekly demand zone. We got 7 stocks. Next, stocks near to the weekly supply zone. We got 8 stocks. Next, price closed inside the weekly demand zone. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. We got 22 stocks. We can further filter this list based on weekly demand zone having weekly EMA Confluence. And also trend on the weekly should not be sideways. Now we got 16 stocks. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total we got 16 stocks. Okay, next price closed inside the weekly supply zone. We got several stocks. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total 64 stocks we got. We can further filter this list based on weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence. And also trend on the weekly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. Let's filter. Now the list is reduced. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total we got 18 stocks. And the next time frame daily already generated in the beginning of the report. So the next time frame is 125 minutes. Stocks near to the 125 minutes demand zone, we got 12 stocks. Next stocks near to the 125 minutes supply zone, we got 11 stocks. Next time frame is 75 minutes already generated. So 25 minutes stocks near 25 minutes demand zone, we got 2 stocks. Next stocks near to the 25 minute supply zone, we got 10 stocks. Next time frame is 15 minutes, stocks near to the 15 minutes demand zone, we got 4 stocks. Next stocks near to the 15 minute supply zone, we got 8 stocks. Next time frame is 5 minutes. Stocks near to the 5 minutes demand zone, we got 4 stocks. Next stocks near to the 5 minute supply zone, we got first 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total we got 17 stocks. So this is about stocks near demand and supply zones for different time frames. Next final report, generating stop buffers based on daily ATR. First 17 in this list are indices, remaining all are equity stocks. I am scrolling the list down. This is the end of the report. Hope this information will be useful to you for your further study and analysis. Let us all meet again in our next video. Thank you.